Your cell phones. If you have a question, raise your hand in the room and wait for the microphone so A, we can hear you, and B, what your question can be transcribed for the transcript. If you're on Zoom and have a question, please use the raised hand function. Our format today will start with an opening statement from Coach Westmore. Coach?
Yeah, you know, it's one of those days, and I've said it a million times. Some days you're the windshield, some days you're the bug. I just thought we came out, you know, ready to play. If you had seen practice yesterday, you probably would have, probably not come to the game. But, again, we got some veterans that are very talented and step up. And, you know, when the lights are the brightest is when they really step up and play. And so, I just thought, again, we shot the heck out of it. 15 out of 30 from three, 50% from the field. We did a pretty good job taking care of it. I know that sounds funny, having 11 turnovers, but with their press and their pressure, that was probably the biggest concern coming into the game. And, again, we did a decent job taking care of the ball. And like I said, they hit a lot of shots. Sanaya's not here, but 11 assists for her. Thought was, and she was just 2 rebounds away from a triple-double. So, but again, we're trying to figure out a way to get these kids another year of eligibility. So if you have any ideas, please let me know.
Next segment will feature our student athletes, Madison Hayes and Isaiah James. So please direct your questions to them in this next segment. Let's start over here to the left.
Hey, this is for both of y'all. Your last game in Reynolds Coliseum, and you set the program record for margin of victory in an NCAA tournament game. To go out with such a bang like that, what does that mean to you for this program?
It means so much. I've been here for all my 4 years, and, just to do that for my last game and, show Wolfpack Nation the love from off the court, it means a lot to me and Madison and Sanaya.
Madison?
Okay. Obviously, our defense made this game for us. And, obviously being in Reynolds and being with the fans and, this is, like you said, me, Zaza, and Sanaya's, last go-around in Reynolds. And, it's bittersweet, but we're not done yet. And, they'll be able to travel with us to Spokane.
And when you get the microphone, please identify yourself and your outlet, please.
That's Brian.
Thank you. Gets over here to the right.
Yeah, Mitch Northam, SB Nation. For both of y'all, I saw the press conference transcript yesterday, and Michigan State was pretty confident about their defense, and you guys put a hurting on them pretty bad. Was any of that a motivating factor?
Madison, we'll start with you.
I didn't even see the press conference, honestly. I think, for us, we're worried about our team and what we need to do on the floor. And our game will speak for itself, and it showed tonight. They're a pretty great team. They obviously, got to the NCAA tournament for a reason. And, we just, like you said, shot the crap out the ball. So, that helped us in our defense as well. We just got to continue to keep doing those things in the tournament.
Definitely. Madison hit all the points. Coach Moore definitely tell us stay away from the media, worry about ourselves. I think our inner circle within the team is very, is very bright to, and it brings on to the court. I'm so proud of these girls. We play all 40 minutes. We touch every base on the court, and, we're going to keep going.
Lindsay Gibbs with Power Plays. Isaiah, as you were leaving the court, there was an extra special ovation, and I saw you kind of stop to compose yourself a little bit. What was going through your mind?
And Wolfpack Nation has been behind my back since I came here. Just the love that they bring. They're not just fans; they're our family. They take care of us. I keep going back to last year when we came back from Portland, 3 a.m. in the morning. They was here for us. It's just to show the support they have for us, and, without them, we can't be us.
Next question, far left over here.
Kind of a similar question for you, Madison. Kind of saw towards the end there, someone was handing you a baby like you're running for office. What is Wolfpack Nation meant to you, where there's that level of trust and just camaraderie and love between the fan base and the players? What has that meant to you?
It's just, obviously the relationships that you build with each and every one of them. And you notice their faces, they come to the lobby, talk to you after the game. It's just amazing how far they go especially at a noon game on a Monday, it's pretty hard. And, you think like, oh, we're not going to have a lot of students, but they showed up and showed out for us, and we did the same for them. So.
Stay left over here.
Connor Vandermark, technician. The two of y'all and Sanaya combined, or you scored or assisted on 71 of the first 76 points. Could you just speak on the chemistry that you guys have, the three of y'all? Because I feel like it's something very rare, especially in college sports.
I mean, me and Zaza have been here for 4 years, even though I didn't start here.
That's okay.
Even though I didn't start here. And then obviously Naya came in a year after. We just spent so much time with each other and talking about the goals that we have as a team. And it's we is greater than me. And that's what we always try to instill into the younger ones when we leave, which is not yet. But just trying to make sure that, we give them that confidence that they have to basically pick up where we left off. And where we leave off is definitely going to be a national championship. So, yeah. So
Definitely the three of us, our chemistry is strong, on and off the court. We always hang out with each other off the court. On the court, we always know where each other's at. Y'all can see Naya knows everybody is at. She passes from anywhere. So just to see us, hit that court one more time on Reynolds, it felt good. It really felt good. Yeah.
Next question in the front row here to the right.
Hi, Tom Shanahan, Spartan Mag. When we were in here yesterday, we talked about how you didn't want to get it to be a physical game like the Duke loss. Mm-hmm. And then right away you hit those 2 3-pointers from virtually the same spot. Mm-hmm. Was that how much did that open up the game? And on those two particular 3-pointers, is that just the way the play developed, or did you guys see a spot to attack?
Okay, I'm gonna stop you. Your phone is on the call. Do you want me to? Okay, just making sure. I was just trying to give you a chance to record it. Okay. But I mean, they just like Zaza said, like they try to find me. I feel like I'm a pretty good shooter, and I try to make myself available. And they just know where I'm at on the floor, and just making sure, Michigan State's defense is really good. I mean, we've obviously watched film a lot, and just making sure that we're just not standing and watching. And that was the biggest emphasis as well on offense, making sure we stay moving, keep them moving. And so they found me a lot, and so, yeah.
Back over to the left.
So in the fourth quarter, y'all didn't play. What is it like to see Zam and Devin and all of them just kind of take over almost as like a passing of the torch?
Yeah.
Madison, we'll start with you.
Hold on, I'm sorry. Obviously just how from summer to now, just like the growth that we've seen, and just, obviously building relationships with them individually and as a team. It's obviously so great to see, they're building that chemistry as well while they're on the floor, and so I just think it's just really special, but we're not passing the torch yet, so I won't worry about that yet. But when it comes to that point, I feel like they'll be ready. So,
Uzziah?
Yeah, just to see them out there, take control of the game, it don't even seem like it's a second five that's going out there. It's the same momentum going out there. They're still staying on top of them, still on stopping on defense, still scoring the ball. So just to see what we instilled in them since the summer, like Madison said, it feels good. It's a relief on Coach Moore to not having to worry about, anybody coming in and, not doing the same thing. We're still staying, at this type pace, so we're proud of them.
Yes, go to the right here. Sorry.
Marissa Sesker, Hoopstats. Y'all get another cross-country trip as a reward, but y'all obviously just did it last year and turned out okay with some extra weirdness with the 3-pointer. Is there anything you guys are looking forward to and just kind of telling the younger kids about?
Uzziah, start with you.
Just being ready, I love Coach Moore saying, you better be some McDonald's fries. You better be hot and ready. Just being hot and ready, no matter what circumstances come to you. You just got to be ready.
You listen to one thing I said. Good. Yes.
Oh. Can you repeat the question? I was busy laughing. I'm sorry.
Going to Washington again.
Went out west again, and then kind of some stuff you'll tell the younger players to get them ready for kind of the time zone in the far corner.
Yeah. I would just say, definitely the rest, because it's going to be a 6-hour flight. We're going to be doing a lot of things there, obviously. Just treatment, making sure recovery, especially after practices. And just like she said, just stay ready for the moment.
We've maxed our time here with our student athletes, Madison Hayes, Isaiah James. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
y'all.
Take tomorrow off. They did listen. They did listen.
Questions for Coach Westmore here in the room? Who wants to start? Bob, in the back.
Bob Sutton with the Associated Press. Wes, when the ball's going in the first quarter from 3, were you thinking keep doing it or let's slow down and we've already made enough?
No, like I said, this year I've learned there's times for me just to get out of the way and let them play. And, yeah, it was nice to see it because I'll be honest, we hadn't really been shooting the ball as well. And like I said, yesterday's practice wasn't real pretty. And then we come out and, you know, they're confident, they're hitting shots and getting a lot of momentum. And like I said, our defense, you know, holding them to 9 points in the first quarter really set the tone. So, yeah, like I said, there's times where, you know, you're saying, no, oh, yes, good job, you know, when a shot's going up. So let them play.
Over here to the right.
Brian Murphy with WRAL. Obviously, these two had a great shooting day, but I thought Sanaya all-around play, not only the assist, but a couple blocks early in the game set the tone. She had that crossover, the no-look pass. I mean, it just seemed like she was able to do kind of whatever she wanted out there.
She's special, you know, and yeah, I gave her a hard time. She had 8 rebounds, so 2 away from a triple-double, and she only had 1 rebound at halftime from what I understand. So, you know, I told her if you'd have started in the first half going to the boards, you'd have had a triple-double. But, yeah, 11 assists, pretty awesome. And then, as you mentioned, she can elevate and get her shot off. And, you know, I know she hit 1 or 2 threes out there. So, yeah, I mean, when she's on, we take it to another level, without a doubt.
Far left over here.
Hey, Coach, like we said, y'all got up to a pretty 27-9 lead in the first quarter. But how important was it to keep your foot on the gas for the second and the third and be able to keep this step up a comeback from the Spartans?
Yeah, that's one thing we talked about, especially at halftime. Michigan State's number 1 in the Big Ten for scoring in the second half. They averaged 42 points a game in the second half. So we stressed that. You know, let's win the third quarter. And thought they did a really nice job. We got a stop on the first possession, and then we scored first, and that, again, gave us a little more momentum heading out of it. But, yeah, you know, again, I got to reiterate, I mean, that's a really good team over there. They had a rough day shooting it at times, and I'll give our defense some credit. Our kids did a good job. And then we were hitting shots. And when we hit shots and we bring – you know, an attitude about our defense, we can be a pretty good team. So we just got to make sure we, you know, stay humble and stay hungry.
Over here to the right.
Yeah, Coach, you mentioned it's a really good team, and I saw you chatted with Robin just for a moment there after the game. What did you tell her?
Yeah, basically that. You know, it was one of those days where, you know, we were hitting some tough shots and everything, you know, so even though it might be an awkward bounce or something, the ball was going in, and, you know, just that, yeah, you know, you have days like that. So, you know, we were fortunate. Like I said, we needed that. We needed to see the ball go through the net a few times, and so we were fortunate to do that early, and I think it's contagious. You know, somebody gets hot, somebody else gets hot, and we were able to roll from there. But she's done a heck of a job. You know, I mentioned yesterday, she played at Davidson when I was coaching at Chattanooga, so we were in the same conference. So I remember her as a player. And, you know, I thought, man, she sure went through the coaching ranks in a hurry to get to a Big Ten school like Michigan State. And then I started figuring it out. Oh, it's been 20 years. So, you know, makes you realize time flies.
Say it the right, please.
Lindsay Gibbs with Power Plays. Coach, it's now been, I think, 6 Sweet 16s in the last 7 NCAA tournaments.
Yeah.
That's incredible consistency.
Yeah.
What does that mean to you, and what?
Yeah.
How have you done it?
Yeah. Well, it means a lot. It means a lot to me. And I'd be honest with you, I didn't know it till watching some of the games yesterday or something. Somebody mentioned it maybe, or maybe in some notes. Yeah, you know, and it just says a lot about, first of all, the support we get here, you know, with Boo and Stephanie and the rest of the administration. They put us in a position to give our athletes, student athletes, a great amount of resources. And then it's about the players. And then our coaches, too. Our coaches have done a heck of a job bringing some of these freshmen along this year. They do a lot of the work as far as position work and development. They've done a heck of a job. And then just the players, you know, and that's what, you know, the wins are awesome. Don't get me wrong. I mean, that's what we're here for. But when you reflect on the players that were able to accomplish that 6 out of 7 years, Sweet 16, it's pretty neat and brings back a lot of good memories.
Over here to the left. We'll get you next, Daniel.
Coach, during that rank stretch, you were winning a lot of games, but at the same time, you're giving up 70, 80-plus points a game. You had a lot to say about that. Now we're in the tournament. You're allowing under 50. What were you seeing today, and how are you going to carry that momentum into the rest of the tournament?
Yeah, you know, I've just been stressing since the ACC championship game. We got to defend. I was embarrassed when I went back and watched the film. Our defensive effort, our rebounding effort, just wasn't what it needed to be, and so we spent a lot of time. That's the great thing about the way our schedule is. We actually have 2 weeks between ACC and the NCAA tournament, and I love that. So we had a few days to focus on us and try to clean some things up. But a lot of it's about attitude and just, you know, them wanting to, you got to take pride in taking away someone's strength or taking a team's strength away, and got to buy into all that. And you know, I've been doing this a long time, and sometimes I get frustrated when maybe the film and the scout doesn't get the attention it needs. But, you know, I think we're trending in the right direction, and we just got to try to make sure we keep that at the forefront when we're preparing for people.
Stay here to the left.
Daniel Wilson, Inside Pack Sports. Didn't seem like you were too pleased with Zam Jones' performance against Vermont. She didn't touch the second half court until, like, I want to say the final minute. But she comes in today during the second half, and she scores 12 points in 12 and a half minutes. Can you talk about her response between games as well as her optimizing her time on the court today?
Yeah, and again, you know, let's face it, we got all these senior guards. You know, I consider Madison a senior also. So it's tough for those freshmen sometimes. It's a big difference from high school, where in high school, you know, you're it. And if you miss a few shots or turn the ball over or whatever, or give up a bucket or two in high school, there's really nobody else to put in. Here, we've got all these veterans, and I don't like taking them out too much. You know, next year Z will be a veteran. But you know, she showed what she can do in a hurry. You know, she did it at Louisville, did it today. She's a microwave. She can get a lot of points in a hurry. So she's fine. And like I said, it was just a matter of first half we were rolling, and we're rolling. I don't touch it a whole lot. You know, we did put Devin in there for a couple of minutes. We obviously subbed at the post, but when things are going good, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So we let it ride. So, but she was ready in the second half and came in and gave us some good minutes.
Last question here to the right.
Wes, Brian Murphy with WRL. Hate to change subjects on you, but obviously you've been here for a long time and had a lot of success. What advice might you give to the new men's basketball coach here about what he can expect? And certainly you saw when this thing is rolling on both men's and women's last year.
Yeah, last year was unbelievable, and you know, I don't have advice for him other than enjoy our fans. You know, they're passionate. They're going to be there for you, win or tie. They're going to be there for you. So you know, but you know, he's been here, done it before. I mean, he's got a great reputation as a coach. So, you know, I'm looking forward to meeting him and all that. And I know, you know, again, he's won everywhere he's been. So I'm sure he'll find his way here as well.
Coach Westmore, congrats on another Sweet 16. Appreciate it.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for your time.
Thank you all. Appreciate y'all being here on a Monday at 12 noon. But right now it feels pretty good.
Now with Michigan State and an opening statement from Coach Freilich.
Yeah, I mean, obviously a really tough finish for our season, but a lot of credit to NC State. I thought they played outstanding. I felt like kind of ran into a buzzsaw, but they shot the ball really, really well. So, what I shared with the team after is a game isn't our season. I think it doesn't feel great to finish with a game like this, but there's things that are happening in our program that we're really proud of. We feel like we're keep building. If we made it a game further this year, I think it was the first NCAA tournament win in Michigan State program in 6 years. So really proud of our collective season, really proud of our girls, seniors that we love so much. So it's hard to have a last game with them that have meant so much to me personally and to our program. But really proud of our team and the work that we've done over the course of a year. Tonight, I wish it went a little bit differently, but a lot of credit to NC State. Their team that was in the Final Four a year ago, and lots of luck to them as they keep moving through. They're a really good team.
Next segment, we will address questions to our student athlete, Grace Van Sluten, who had a double-double, 15 points and 11 rebounds. If anyone on the Zoom has a question, raise your hand. Anyone in the room have a question, please raise your hand and wait for the microphone. Over here to the right. And please identify yourself.
Tom Shanahan, Spartan Mag. Grace, kind of follow up on what Coach said. Where do you see the program going? A tough day today, but where do you see the program going?
Yeah, I think I only see it going up, just how hard everybody works in the program, the culture that surrounds it. The only way we can go is up. So, I'm really excited to put in a lot of work this off season and really get better so that overall the whole program can get better.
Question in the room? To the back on the right.
Bob Sutton with the AP. Grace, did it just seem like an avalanche hit you guys when they were hitting those shots and they just wouldn't miss? What was the feeling there?
A little bit of frustration, Obviously, like Coach said, that's not the way that, you want to go out. But all credit to NC State. They played a great game. And, we're knocking down all their shots. And, I don't know. There was just – it's kind of like speechless, you don't really know what to do when a team is doing that. But, really happy to be here with this team and, happy that we got it to round of 32.
Over here to the left.
Brian Pearl, hold in the middle. Brian Pearl, Pat Pride on 24/7 Sports. Y'all switched to the zone a few times this year on defense. We've seen NC State kind of struggle when teams switch to the zone. Was that something y'all went into as part of the scout, and what kind of allowed them to find some holes in the defense there?
Yeah, I think the scout is kind of we need to own the paint, and we went in and it was kind of the opposite is what happened. So it's unfortunate, but they played a great game.
Over here to the right.
Lindsay Gibbs with Power Plays. Obviously, so soon after the loss, but looking back at this season, what are you going to take from it overall?
I think first and foremost, the relationships I made. I have some really awesome teammates, and I'm really, really grateful for them, and I think coming from this season, I've learned a lot. I think, I've improved so much, both mentally and physically. I think my game has just gone to a new level, and I'm really, really grateful for that. And, it all starts at the coaching staff with recruiting, players that want to work hard, because that is the culture that's at Michigan State. So, just really, really grateful for this season and the people that I met, and I had a lot of fun.
Over here to the left, please.
Obviously, Reynolds Coliseum is a tough place to play, but y'all had a sizable Spartan presence come on down here. Just what does it mean for y'all and for this program to have that representation on the road in a tough environment?
Yeah, it means a lot. Our fans all season have been amazing. I've never played in front of people who care so much for, women's basketball, and they always show out no matter who we're playing. And, credit to NC State. I've never seen a crowd like that. I've never played in an environment like that. And, their fans really showed out today, and, it makes it a little bit of fun to play in front of a crowd like that. So, I love our fans and expecting the same next season.
Any more questions for Grace? All right, Grace, thank you for your time.
Thanks.
Another steal. We'll continue now with Coach Freilich. Questions in the room? Back row to the right.
Robin, not to mention, you were facing a deficit, and looks like you had not been in those type of holes for the most part this season. So, did that just add another element of something else you have to kind of conquer here for the last couple of quarters?
The first quarter, really got us on our heels, and we've been a team though that's been behind and roared our way back, many times. So we've been a team that's been able to go on runs, and we've typically been able to do it with our defense and being able to kind of be disruptive. And tonight, we never got that run. I thought the start was hard. They made a lot of shots, and and we had some early that we missed, and those feel critical, especially with just sort of the momentum of the game. But we're a team I never feel like we're down and out. We've played against top teams in the country and battled our way and fought our way back. And tonight, we never had that sort of momentum shift. But credit to NC State. I mean, I thought they played a really, really good basketball. And when you make all your shots, the game gets a little bit easier too.
Front row to the right.
Yesterday, North Carolina State talked about how they didn't want to have a physical game like they did when they're in their loss to Duke. How much of a difference did that make that they hit so many early open shots that it was going to be more their type of game?
I mean, and honestly, going into the scout, so much of NC State's success has been being efficient in the paint. They're a team that makes 7 threes a game, so it's a part of their game, but it's not like the main part. And so tonight, when they, were just hot, opposite of ice, when they were just hot from 3, all of a sudden the game becomes really hard because they're also hard to guard in space, right? So, and it started early, so I thought that got us spaced out a little bit early too. But credit to them, good team. Their guards are very dynamic, and that also made it hard for us to pressure them in the full court, just because they have 3 guards that can really kind of whiz them up and down the court, and we're hard to contain.
Back to the left.
Obviously, y'all played in a lot of large crowds playing Big Ten basketball, but how much Reynolds is also a very good environment. How much preparation went into preparing for this environment, and how do you think your team handled it?
I mean, I think our Big Ten season prepares us. We do play in sold-out crowds and huge, fan bases, and Reynolds Arena is the same, right? They have a great fan base. So we went in knowing we had to be really sharp with making sure we had nonverbals, but no, they have the fan base made it fun. I mean, I think that's what this platform's for. I love that the top 16 teams host. I love that for our game. I think it makes you really work to earn that. And then I think it makes the competitive environment, it's a challenge if you're on the road, but it makes the game very much a tournament atmosphere. So I think we've played in tough environments all year, but, we had that again tonight.
Coach, one of the stats that kind of stood out to me is you guys create 22 turnovers a game. Today, NC State only turned it over 11 times. Mm-hmm. For them, that might be a high number. For your defense, that's a little low number. Why was it so difficult to turn them over?
They have great guard play. So that makes it tricky. They don't have a primary ball handler. They have multiple that, and then, they shot it so well. So all of a sudden, you're really spaced out, which it's harder to be disruptive. And then the same thing, we didn't score. So when you don't score, it's hard to get your defense really set or your press set or get into your spots.
Back to the left.
Talk to Coach more, him going against you when he was coaching and you were still in your playing days. What was what was it like facing him as now in a coach-on-coach matchup, and what kind of was that post-game conversation like?
Oh, I mean, he congratulated us on a season. He also said he thought they played great. You know, like it felt like we ran into a little bit of a buzzsaw, but he's one of the best coaches in our game. He's won for a long time at every level, at a high level. So, yeah, I think he does a great job, and he's done a great job for a long time at a lot of places. And, you know, I think they got a really good team that can continue to make a run in the tournament.
Coach, this was a season low in scoring for you. What was the difficulties and why you guys couldn't score against NC State?
Well, when our defense didn't create offense, which that's a part of our offense. It's not the whole part, but it is a part. So I thought that's probably the biggest part of it. And then when you're not getting a lot of stops, it's also hard to, it becomes a little bit more challenging to score when the defense is always set.
Any more questions in the room? If not, Coach Freilich, thanks for your time, and thanks.
All right, thanks,
Congrats
y'all.
on a great season.
Yeah, thank you.